So guys, I made a video basically called what if Romania had an empire, and it blew up. Like, it did so good. So I'm going to do that again today, but this time with France. So by the way, NATO, the EU, and the UN, and all those other alliances do not exist in this universe. So first off, France will like go up to Luxembourg and be like, "Give me your land," and Luxembourg just says yes, because what are they gonna do about it? Fight them? That was pretty easy. So now it's time for them to attack Belgium. The Netherlands joins in too because they're probably gonna get declared war on anyways, and also why not? There's a part of Belgium called Flanders, which is pretty much like this, like there. So France takes advantage of that and just takes over the entire area. Barely any resistance. Then they go down here and they split Belgium in half, and then it surrenders. France moves up and they take over this little part that has like Belgium, Netherlands, just like switching back and forth and back and forth, France goes over the coast and takes over Amsterdam, and then takes all over the coast, gets these islands, and then slowly goes into the rest of the now collapsing country. They make like a little front there, and they push and they split the country in half, and then the Netherlands just dies. So France takes over all of Belgium and then takes over most of the Netherlands, but leaves this part to be its own country. This part is named Holland. Now France looks to expand into Switzerland, so they declare war. So before this, they already had a bunch of French troops, just right on the border here. And then they start to push in. Now, since this has, a lot of mountains and stuff, it doesn't, just go really fast, just like boom, lightning war. No, it doesn't go that way. They kind of just go closer and closer, just in farther and farther. Now, I'm just going to speed this up because this is really boring. So they just take the capital, go closer and closer and closer, and then take over the entire country. The western half of Switzerland is annexed into France, while the eastern half gets to be its own country. Now, France already kind of rules Andorra, which is this country right here. So they pretty much just start a coup and take over the country. Then they decide to declare war on Spain. So there's a bunch of mountains here. So at first the war is slow going. Just troops march forward, climbing it. They try to make a landing in Galicia, but it's not, too good because it just doesn't go well. But then the French finally break the mountains and they speed through. Thousands of people just trample Spain's army. They easily take over Catalonia and the rest of that, and they take over Galicia. The entire coast of Spain is now under French control, and they slowly go closer in, and then they make an attack that captures the capital of Spain and splits it into two parts, and then Spain surrenders. In the peace deal, we see France take over Catalonia, they take over these islands here, and they also take over Galicia. But they don't take it over fully, they just make it a puppet state. France's next goal is to declare war on Italy. France is pretty powerful, and there is nothing blocking them from just invading. So they take over this part easily. They hop across here, they take over Venice, and they take over the rest of this. They easily take over this northern half of Italy. They pass San Marino, and they're going for Rome. They take Sicily over in a matter of days, and they slowly push up, both forces coming to meet, They didn't expect it. They didn't think about the possibility of air superiority. At first, it's just a small little dot, but it grows and grows and grows. Takes over northern half of Sardinia and pushes down. The Italians have already been defeated. They surrender. Now we should look at the peace deal. So French forces take over Sardinia. They also take over the northern half of Italy, and they leave this part to be its own, autonomous puppet state. Now it's time to destroy Germany. Now, Germany recently increased their military budget, which means they've put a lot more money into their military. So it won't be, just as easy as it was for Italy. So they start the war by pushing up in the northwestern front because it is, not as fortified as down here. And down here there's just a bit of, just a stalemate. There are a few pushes made, but overall it doesn't really, do much. Now all of Germany's coast has been taken over in a few weeks. So this army just closes in on Berlin. They surround it and then go in and capture it. Now it's not as easy, and the Germans take back Berlin, and there are many casualties on both sides. Then something happens. A breakthrough is on there, and it's not good. It pushes into Alsace-Lorraine, and Germany quickly takes it. They make advantage of the resistance and take over Wallonia. They take over the Netherlands too, and cut off the force from the supply line. Things aren't looking good for France, and look even worse as the army of Germany just goes closer and closer in. But they use the planes that they got from the Italians, and they land some in the middle of Germany. And then they tell to Bavaria, hey, we'll give you independence if you fight for us. And they'll say, okay. And they easily take control of that. And then they close in and take back Wallonia and then take over the Netherlands and then reconnect the supply line. Now up here, there's much of a stalemate between these forces as it becomes more heavily and heavily fortified. Now, although right now you're only seeing it, seconds pass by, in real life, this would take years, especially before. The western part of Germany that has all of the industry is taken over, and there is a thing here to cut off Germany into two pieces. Now all that's left of Germany is this eastern part, and they surrender. Now let's look at the final peace deal of this video. So first off, Bavaria is released from Germany, and it's not a puppet because it was guaranteed full independence. Now the western industrial part of Germany is now part of France, so France's industry quickly grows. Now I'll make a part 2, maybe, where I break up this empire, as all empires do. To see that, I guess, bye-bye.